knee, and that's the 25-yard line. New England trots back out there for their next offensive series, and it gives us a time to talk about their backfield. Everyone knows Tom Brady's set in stone, but they've got some options at running back this year. Interesting to see how that's going to sort out.
And it's always been that way in New England, kind of a plethora of riches. In this case, it is crazy, isn't it? James White, the Super Bowl hero, Rex Burkhead, first-round pick Sony Michel. Then you got to put in Mike Gillislee, who's played well in this league. Jeremy Hill had big moments in Cincinnati. Brandon Bolden, who doesn't carry it very often, but is great on special teams. And how about the undrafted free agent Ralph Webb, getting on the radar in the first preseason game with a big performance?
Yeah, the Vanderbilt Commodore making his presence felt. Indeed, a lot of options in the backfield. Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. Brady going to give this one to Burkhead. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. There for the tackle, the former Wisconsin Badger, Leon Jacobs. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Alabama, 380.
To throw on third down, Brady. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
First quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you run into big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now. And
he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. On first and 10, here's Bortles. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Back to the air on second down. It's Bortles. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. He's going to go up top for the end zone. Fine work by the Patriot D there, and it's 4th down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
And no mistaking that sound. It reverberated through the whole stadium.
And it's the sound Brandon no kicker wants to hear. It looked like he had it on target the whole way, but the upright said,
Brady and the Patriots now 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Throwing now is Brady. To the right side, and he's got Edelman. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Took him 5 tries, but he is able to complete that first pass of the game.
And could you hear the exhale all the way up here? Not just from him, coaching staff, offensive line, receivers. Now he's off the schneid. Can they get him going in a nice groove where he becomes a little more consistent throwing the football?
Because you miss those first two, but you get up the 0 for 4 range. That can be a little tricky, but able to settle in, hopefully. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Patriots in possession to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 3rd down and 5 to start things out. Brady. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Now the short yardage man, Burkhead. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the 1st. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. So they give it up just on their side of midfield. And, yeah, I mean, a surprising decision there to go for that.
He must have a lot of confidence in his defense. He must feel like, hey, we're in great shape here because our defense can hold them because they're really outside of field goal range now, right? The opposite team. So if you hold them here, you haven't given up any points. You may give up a punt and you're pinned down a little bit, but must have thought it was an okay spot to go for it and decided to be aggressive.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
11. 380.
Bortles to throw on 2nd down. Dancing to his left. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the 1st.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the 1st down.
Let's go.
Throwing on 1st down is Bortles. Quick hitch, complete. It's Lee. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A Jacksonville 1st down on a pickup of 17.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Fournette, a 1st down carry. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Some good, strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
Again, it's Fournette. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
380.
They'll try and run forward with Fournette. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. And always a good 1st half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
And now out come the Patriots. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Malik Jackson forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this.
Let's go, let's go.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. Brady going to throw. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. 6 yards on the pickup, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Here's Brady to throw. Trying to squeeze it into Edelman, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Barry Church. Oh, some strong running, and they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown.
Now, that was a beautiful play. A pick six. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Tom Brady leads the offense out for their next possession. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. On 2nd down, here's Brady. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. He sets to fire deep. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
And not his best effort there, as this one's going to be spotted down just outside of the 40-yard line. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. Bortles now on 1st down. Buying time to his left. Left side complete. Safarian Jenkins. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. A final shot before half for Bortles. Flushed out right. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-up.
And he is going to be hit and taken down. Bortles sacked. Adrian Claiborne in there to sack him for a loss of 6. To throw, it's Bortles. Throw left side complete. That's Cole. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. The reception good for 7. It's third down. The Jaguars on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Lucy. So right.
Shotgun now for Bortles. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
Here we go.
Brandon, that's a tough guy right there. He knew that was going to happen. In other words, he had to absorb that hit. How about him securing the football, churning the legs a little bit, and getting what he needed for a first down?
Well, that's the deal. On third down, these guys, they know where the sticks are. He obviously knew right there.
And if you want to be a dependable third down receiver, you've got to be willing to absorb those types of hits and make those sort of plays.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Here we go.
Now a play fake. Bortles. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Now Burkhead. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Brady throwing on 2nd down. And a first hookup with his all-pro tight end, Rob Gronkowski. And he's able to get this one up to the 45-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, there it is. Brady connecting with Gronk, but at this stage of the game, this is kind of late for them. I'm used to this happening right out of the gate.
Yeah, we were thinking we would see this per usual. First quarter, definitely second quarter, but not the case.
And their offense not moving the ball like they normally do. They're losing the game. Those two need to get together and fast. That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Wait 20! Wait 20! Let's go!
Brady to throw on 2nd down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
Now Leonard Fournette. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Jaguars. A big play there. 47 yards. And a forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Patriots offense now. They work their way back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive. Oh, he can't get away, and Brady will go down. Calais Campbell in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. That's a 6'8", 300-pound man out of the U, Mr. Campbell.
Yes, and he came from Arizona to Jacksonville and didn't just bring that frame with him. He brought 14.5 sacks as well and created a new city within their city, now known as Saxonville.
And he'll be hit as he releases it and now fall incomplete. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on first down. Then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback, because that was awfully close.
New England on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be third and forever. To throw is Brady. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Calais Campbell in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of it. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Flush to his right. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
Well, that's a nice job right there. He's looking downfield, but with no one open, he takes off and tries to run for it. He gets to the sidelines and gets out of bounds with a first down.
Now Bortles. It's complete on the bubble screen. That's Lee. They'll get to him just inside the 15-yard line. And even after that fancy footwork we saw, good job defensively to recover. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So they don't even need to run a second down play. Give them the first.
And typically when we see this jumping, isn't it usually third down, fourth down? They got them on second down. I think that's a lack of discipline.
Bortles. And here he'll get it down to the 7. He'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll be second and goal. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on second and goal.
Green 80. Green 80.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on third and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
They'll go with a big bang Fournette, going absolutely nowhere. He'll wind up losing a yard or 2. He had 3 touchdowns already, but won't get a 4th here, and the Patriots get the football back. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification. He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Looking to throw on second down. Brady unable to get it to Gronkowski that time. And it's 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
A play fake for Burkhead. Now Brady. And this is going to be incomplete.
So it looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. He'll take this inside the 40. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe... You know, you've taught me this before. Maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jason McCourty. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That was a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Gronkowski got it on the crossing route. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. To throw on second down. Brady. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now Brady. And Brady going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Well, when someone other than the quarterback is throwing the football, it's either beautiful or a disaster, and here it was the latter.
Nowhere in between, right? You're exactly right. It takes some fortitude to call that type of a play, but when it doesn't work, oh, boy, you wish you hadn't.
And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away.
11B.
Bortles going to throw here. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
372.
Throwing his Bortles on third down. And it's incomplete. Both players had a shot at that one. Neither can get it, and it brings up fourth down.
I think someone's going to get into QB1's ear when he gets to the sideline. Already thrown an interception. That one should have been picked. Look, let's just be honest about it. That'd be the second person in his ear because he's hearing it in the huddle right now.
Not the start to the game he wanted. Like you said, the pick on the opening drive, second drive, not much better.
Green 11B.
The Jags do snap it. It's Bortles. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It's a gain of 13, and how about that? They're able to convert on 4th and 10.
11B.
On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Adrian Claiborne in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. On second down, here's Bortles. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Jason McCourty. And he'll bring it all the way back, just a yard or two shy of midfield. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the fourth quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They get a nice push into the offensive backfield. And
a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Set. Green 80. Green is set.
Bortles going to look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to go deep down the left. That's caught inside the 20. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. The storyline of this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column, too.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Jaguars are winners here as we say so long from Jacksonville.
Out, valet, walk out, all these bins I lost count, cause I'm too up right now, too up right now. I'm too, on one day on my third, I was too broke, now I'm too rich, made 100K on my third shift, I'm a boy, so, boy, and I'm a gangster, and you a, boy, man, we been getting money for a long time. We was out here hungry for a long time. I don't never really have no punchlines. And all you rappers looking like a lunch line. Ooh, right now, I got you. Right now, nothing. Need a Uber right now. Right now, need crew love right now. Cause we too up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. Hop out, valet, walk out, all these bins I lost count, cause I'm too up right now, too up right now. Yeah, I'm too up, round blew up, copped that new rape on them haters, threw up, brother went to jail for them, told me you up, first time I seen 100 bands.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the Jacksonville Jaguars. With that, let's get on up to Jacksonville. Standing by for the call, it's our broadcast team of Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State at TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. A few minutes prior to us coming on air, this crowd was jolted into action with the introduction of these Jaguars. They're set for football as the Jags are ready to match up with Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
They keep it with Fournette on first down. Some tough running, but it only gets him to the 45-yard line. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. A quick hitter complete. It's Lee. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
A throw left side complete to his receiver, Westbrook. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Bortles now on first down. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Again, it's Bortles. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. In for the score. And the Jags have taken the early lead. And the QB rating right now sky high. 4 for 4 on that opening drive, and it ends with a touchdown pass.
Yeah, I don't know quite how to figure it out. I think I need my friends from MIT to come in and help me. I think 158.3 is the number one.
Yep,
that's right. That's the highest you can get. That's where he is. He'd like to continue on that pace.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. On the carry, here's Marshawn Lynch. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. He completes it to Nelson. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
They'll run it. Here's Lynch. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. An ideal start defensively. They already have the touchdown. Now they get the stop.
Just like they drew it up on the chalkboard. Does that sound dated? Right? Am I out of touch a little bit?
It's all right.
All right, grease board, heck, computer, exactly what you want, though. Score on your first drive, stop them on the first drive defensively.
They do go for it. It's Carr. And he finds Carr. Oh, now he bowls him over. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th.
Well, peel back the curtain, partner. We've got a pretty good look into how they plan to play this game. Aggressive seems to be the word. Going for it on 4th down in that situation.
Yeah, opening drive. Now, we know this coaching staff, they have traits of aggression in their history, but what a start to this game. They're going for it.
Yeah, a lot of people might say reckless, but they got it. 1 for 1 on 4th down here early in the game.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 11 more on that one and another first down.
No surprise watching Marshawn Lynch scatter bodies as he runs, but I remember doing games of his at Cal, and I remember the moves, the jump cuts, the elusiveness, as well as the strength.
Throwing on first down is Carr. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And some room to roam now. There he goes, right side. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1 yard. Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. And what a way to take over as they've got it with a first and goal. Bortles will keep it, and he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Blake Bortles with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. Extra point tacked on by Lambo, and that'll make the score 14-0. Here's Lambo out to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those script...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Barry Church. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Green 80. Green 80.
So after the INT, it's Bortles rolling to his right. And he's got room. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Bortles on the give to Fournette. They find some open field here. And he doesn't quite make it. They do stop him, but he gets it all the way down to the 1. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from mid.
And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. A great play there. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. Sometimes a group that gets overlooked, certainly, the offensive line. Right there, they really helped with that score.
Didn't they tell us in our meeting that when we score touchdowns running the ball, that means the offensive line actually scored first by moving people back beyond the end zone? We saw evidence of that on that play.
Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, You're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Carr to throw on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker roll that they can fall back on anymore.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Let's take it inside his own 40. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Jags and Leonard Fournette making their way onto the field. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable. And really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
Well, now he's looking just to add to his totals. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Gary and Conley. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 15. Carr. And his throw is incomplete. The linebacker, Miles Jack, able to knock that one away.
Well, we progressed through the preseason, so let's prognosticate about the regular season. NFC.
Can we overanalyze?
Yeah, I want to overanalyze,
right.
too. NFC, the 4 divisions, who do you have winning them?
Let's start in the East. The Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl last year, got better in the offseason. I think they win their division again, although Dallas will make a strong run at them.
Okay. And the South, you were saying you like Atlanta.
Yeah, I do like Atlanta to get back to the top. Tough division. 3 teams in the playoffs last year. Atlanta, New Orleans, which won the division, and Carolina.
Going west, who do you have out there?
The Rams. They took over for the Seahawks.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this be who you are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Blake Bortles on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Jaguars add on to their lead.
Instead of having to play follow the leader there, the leader led.
I like that. And he likes that, doesn't he? 1st and goal, let me do the job.
Because you know when he falls into the end zone after falling behind those big guys who pushed up front, that's a pretty good celebration, isn't it?
Gives him a little street cred in the locker room, too, doesn't it?
Street cred, and then when they go out to dinner afterwards, he's still picking up the check.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Marshawn Lynch and the Raider offense heading back out there. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Well, CD, regular season inching closer. You know, looking at the ledger of the games, we'll just stick with the NFC right now, but it starts with a bang. Atlanta, Philly on the 6th.
How about the last 2 teams to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl head-to-head to start the season? The Falcons, they didn't win it. Philadelphia did. And then how about this for a second game? San Francisco at Minnesota. In normal years, it doesn't get as much attention, but how about now? Jimmy Garoppolo leading the 49ers to take on now Kirk Cousins' Minnesota Vikings.
Anything else there from the NFC Week 1 catching your eye?
Well, I think the Dallas Cowboys at Carolina, that definitely does, because the Cowboys are trying to get back to the playoffs. Dak Prescott, full season of Ezekiel Elliott, and, of course, number 1.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Bortles to throw on second down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Derek Johnson. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. 1:59 to go in the first half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this.
Go. Get set.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know, but all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one, much more like lead.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll try a little trickery here on the end around, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here now, Johnny Townsend as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. The Jaguars getting set to go. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Bruce Irvin able to get in and bury him well behind the line for a loss of 17.
Hank. 539, loose.
Working from the gun, it's Bortles. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And Charles got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
On third and long, it's Bortles. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Gary and Conley. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is third down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
They go play action here on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
There's a lot about that play you could easily see coming. Backed up in the shadow of their own goal line, you know they're going to face pressure.
He's lucky his arm was going forward. It was close, but it was going forward.
Yeah, it could have been a safety or even giving up the defensive touchdown.
They set up the screen to Lynch. They were looking for a cushion from that end zone. He gave it to him. 15 big yards. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
He'll check this down to Lynch, complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 12 more yards there and another first down. Now Carr. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. He was trying to get it to Marshawn Lynch, and it's second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
They'll set up the screen to Lynch. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. The Raiders on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is third down and 12. Throwing his car on third down. He's going to launch this thing. And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Ronnie Harrison.
Lucy. Set. Green 80. Green attack.
A final shot before half for Bortles. Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And this is caught by Lee. Touchdown Jacksonville. Marquise Lee as time expires in the first half. And the Jaguars continue to roll. And just before the half ends, the prayer is answered. Defensively, a disaster there.
I know often we're surprised when this actually works. I mean, the excitement level goes way up, but maybe we shouldn't be, because I know as a defender, you've got to play the ball in this situation, but you can't interfere with the receiver because, remember, it's a spot foul, and it'd be first and goal if it happens in the end zone, and you don't want to give up that play. And that little bit of hesitancy often works really well for offensive guys.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. So we hit the halftime break here in Jacksonville with the Jags on top. The return man here, Dwayne Harris. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Derek Carr getting set and ready to go again on offense here. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Barry Church. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Cooper was the target there. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. They give it and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. Now, throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
And that's one of the dangers of the quick game. If you only have a 2- or 3-step drop, if you don't get the ball to someone open right away, those defenders are right near the line of scrimmage, and they can get on top of you in a heartbeat.
Flushed out right. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line. He got 29 yards that time.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. Extra point tacked on by Lambo. And that will extend this big lead. Here's Lambo out to kick this one away. Here's Harris to return it. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. On 2nd down, here's Carr, and that is incomplete.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have gets chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions may be in the back of his mind. To throw is Carr. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. Carr can beat you in a lot of ways. The scramble there, a perfect example as he gets the first.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Yannick Ngakoue in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Here's Carr to throw, eluding the pressure right. Oh, now he'll try and chuck it deep left side, and that's caught inside the 30. A big play that time for the Raiders, 41 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there. Early down stuff will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Throwing now is Carr, going for it all. And it's knocked away and incomplete. A.J. Bouye, the fine quarterback, there to make the play defensively.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
I liked his effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. Carr going to go on 4th down. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Yannick Ngakoue able to disrupt yet another pass play. His 3rd sack of the afternoon. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Well, it looked like a quick hitter, a 3-step drop, but when it's not there, what do? He elects to try and escape through the massive bodies up the middle, and he does so and picks up positive yardage.
On 2nd down, here's Bortles. Flushed out right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Emmanuel Lamur able to get in there and drop him for a 2-yard loss.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Bortles going to try and throw on 3rd down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Gary and Conley. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Malik Jackson forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Flush to his right. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Pretty nice gain on the scramble. Gets him 12 yards. The Raiders on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion and 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 8. Carr to throw after the play fake to Lynch. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Malik Jackson in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. Well, this ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But, yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they've put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
They'll run it again with Fournette. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. And now here come the Raiders. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Eluding the pressure right. Over the middle, complete. It's Lynch. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. First down, the run with Lynch. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Again, they'll pound it with Lynch. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He went backwards there 8 yards, and it brings up third down.
Well, that wasn't just a loss. That was a loss of big yardage there. So the sense you're starting to get is that offensively, things are starting to pile up against them, and they've got to find a way to stop that. Conversely, how about the great call by the defensive coordinator? He realized that he's got him on the run a little bit. That call was made to get upfield penetration by his defensive front to try and get into the gaps, get upfield into the backfield, and make a big play. I think that was actually called not so much just to, to get it done that way, but to say, hey, guess what? We're going to be aggressive, and we had an opportunity and seized it.
Now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right? And sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same.
It's caught inside the 25. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. 1 play, touchdown. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Carr gives to Marshawn. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Play action. Now it's Carr. Out to his left. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Raiders on 3rd down, not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. The Raiders on 3rd down, not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Carr going to try and throw on 3rd down. And they're going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. The number 7, usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he had won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001 to throw 7 picks. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. Short kick. One of the up will take it down. And they're able to return this one all the way up to the 45.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Lynch. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They'll keep pounding here with Lynch. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. On 3rd down, they go Lynch. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down. So, Charles, are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the confidence you gain throughout when you're pitching a shutout. And they're going to leave the stadium feeling like they're all 10 feet tall.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Jaguars are winners here as we say so long from Jacksonville.